Having ADHD, for me, is like being in perpetual poverty. I feel like most of my life, my childhood, my parents both had enough money, so we like had what we kind of wanted. Didn't give us everything we wanted, which is good. Um, but that didn't matter. Like when you have this going on in your head, you're like constantly deficient of um, some of your neurotransmitters. You feel like you're in this perpetual poverty state, right? Ever since I got married, I feel like me and my ex, with my ADHD, I would put her, and not talking about neurotransmitters anymore, but I put her and us during our marriage in a kind of a perpetual poverty state, with debt and like student debt mainly, but other debt like credit card debt. We would use credit cards to live off of, through the years while I was in school, which seemed good at the time, but when I wasn't able to finish school because my ADHD, like I not because of it, but like I chose not to finish school, and I had a hard time finishing school. And typically ADHD people have a very hard time finishing school, finishing anything in their lives. So school just happens to be a costly thing that you can't finish in your life, and it creates poverty. I bet a lot of us are impoverished. I think that's sad. If I could start any kind of an organization, I would start it to help ADHD people, people that suffer from it, to maybe create programs to help them to finish, or to to keep the interest going. The problem is you start something and it's very interesting, but you lose interest after so long. So shorter school programs, much better for someone with ADHD. And I think having some kind of foundation that helped people get into shorter programs that are more focused and quicker, and maybe tailored more towards us, like that would be great. Because I can't imagine how many 4-year programs. 4 years is impossible for an ADHD person. Just terrible. Like, I did tons of years of school, but guess what? They were in like short, like 2-year spurts. Like, I never went to a 4-year thing. Chiropractic school was 3 years. I only made it like a year and a half. That was my attention span. Even 3 years of my first school, I split in half because I went on a mission for my church. So I only did like almost a year when I first did that, and like almost not even 2 years, there. And then I went to a different school. I went to a community college and did a couple semesters there to fill my credits. And then I went to chiropractic school for about a year and a half, probably 18 months, and then I finished off going to nursing school, which is 18 months. The difference between all of that is nursing school, I actually got a degree in 18 months, that was actually productive. So that maybe should be the focus of where we get these ADHD kids into, get them into 18-month program, get some kind of degree that's actually profitable, like nursing. Nursing is great. You get an associate's degree, tons, like it's great. Even, what's funny, I even think construction jobs are really good for ADHD people, right? Like getting out and getting physical and stuff. Like I feel like there's some, I know that doesn't sound, it sounds blue collar or whatever, but like I feel like having ADHD, like you almost kind of want something like that a little bit. And then spend your time doing other things, that are fulfilling, like me, like I never, even jobs I've never had over 2 years, 2 years is like my limit. And so I'm so scared to death as a nurse, like that I'm going to be burnt out after 2 years and not being wanting to do it anymore, just because I want some more stimulation or want something more. I feel like even my current job as a nurse is like such a sweet gig, like, and I've talked about this before, and it's like, I've like maximized my awesome potential with nursing, not because I'm the best nurse out there. It's because like or there's different nursing jobs to do. Like I feel like I've maxed out what I can handle to the brim. Like I've like figured it out. And not because I'm a professional, because ADHD people, we don't become professionals. We become, you know, we become very skilled in hundreds of things, but we never want to become a master at anything. We don't have the attention span. Anything that lasts over 18 months and you're done. So I wonder how that works with jobs, and how to like, and maybe even teaching ADHD people or people that suffer as adults. That's what you can expect, and maybe you should look for those things, like really play that to your advantage. And I know people would gripe about that. No, like you need to teach them or help them keep that 30-year job, like I don't think that's realistic at all. Like realistically, what we should be doing is we should be offering as a program, these are the type of jobs that are really work really good in like 18-month spurts. So let's get you in a profession where you can do these kinds of things. Or even the ability to change professions. Like, it would have been so nice if somebody just told me, don't go to school, Like, it's not worth the amount of debt, Like, I've got so much debt from school, like, so many schools, because I couldn't finish, because I couldn't choose, because of my indecisiveness, because of my inattention. Like, terrible. 170 grand of debt isn't worth it all. I could have gotten, a tenth of that and gone to just nursing school in the beginning. I wish I had the direction for that. I wish somebody sat down with me with ADHD and been like, you know what, this is probably the best fit for you. And I know they try to do this in high school, but we don't really listen to that. They should really make more effort with these kind of students so that they can have better chance at success without all of the crippling debt. Because we just do this. We just do this garbage, We try to start up businesses, We have all these great ideas and all these hopes and dreams, and they're just perpetual. Anybody in a relationship with someone with this knows this. They're like, it's exhausting how many ideas that we come up with and all these things, and a lot of them are actually decent ideas. It's just a matter of having the attention span to fulfill them, or having the discipline. We just don't have that. And if we do have the discipline, it only lasts for, a couple years, and then we want to move on to something different. But that's not enough investment of time to turn a good, decent profit. So we're perpetually in debt, credit card debt, or doing all of these things to try to get all of these programs off the ground. It just, like, I lived that so much. Like, I've lived that already, and I'm tired of that, and I'm trying to buckle down and just suffer through depression to stay in a job longer, like that's how it is. Like, and yes, I guess you have hobbies and distractions, but I'm burnt out on all of those. I burned myself out by the time I finally found the profession. I wish I kept some of those things to myself. I wish I could have stayed married sometimes, or really been a better husband so that I could have stayed married. I didn't deserve to stay married to her. She was way too good for me. Anyway. Poor kids, my kids are suffering for it, and I've got to figure out how to be a better example for them, to figure out how to stay in a job long enough, to figure out just... stop coming up with all of these ideas. I'm burnt out on ideas now. I just can't keep doing them. Ugh. But I have to do them. My brain is telling me to do them. It's the only way that I know how to cope with life, is to try different things all the time. They're not fulfilling anymore. They're just not. With this depression, nothing is fulfilling. Everything is gone, and now I'm just mad and angry at life. I'm mad and angry that I can't feel pleasure anymore in things. I'm so mad. It's good to be mad. It's good to be angry. Maybe this is making me happy, is being angry. A lot of energy here in my anger about being freaking depressed. How awesome is that? Enough to laugh about in an angry way.